Welcome to the More Than Fitness podcast.
And we are live. Audio is check. Notes are check. Do I still need a haircut? Yes, I do. And I'm forgetting what day it is because all these days seem to be running together. But anyway, and for the people on the video podcast, I got a new knick-knack statue thing, whatever these little things are called. But I got like a leopard or a jaguar. I don't know. It looks pretty dope. It was my girlfriend's. It's from Mexico. And I wanted to put it right here next to Zion the zebra. This one doesn't have a name yet, but I'm looking at Carl right now. He's over there by the window looking out. And so if you hear, he got some new toys. If you hear my cat playing around with some toys or eating his food, don't be alarmed. It's just him. Nonetheless, we have another amazing Minisode for you guys today. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to I forgot how to do it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Minisode number 29 on the More Than Fitness podcast. Wow, a little rusty. But I have a great Minisode for you guys today, and it is on 5 ways to build a healthier relationship with food. Something I think we could all use more of at any time of our lives, but now especially considering whenever you're secluded in a time like this and you are forced to succumb to a Groundhog Day type situation, whatever habits you have built during this time are only going to be perpetuated. And so it's crucial that we make sure the habits we're building during this time are pretty good. I'm not expecting, anything crazy, especially because a lot of people are going through tough times right now. So habit building isn't on the top of mind. However, that being said, I think it can always be helpful to take a step back and reevaluate what we are doing on a daily basis and how we can try to at least be 1% better than we were yesterday or the week before or whatever other cliche you can think of. But trying to improve in some manner is going to be very important over these next few weeks, months for our own mental health. So with that being said, I want to help you guys out and give you a few ways to develop a healthier relationship with food. And the first one is, this is something that I think no matter what it is that you're trying to improve in your life, building healthier habits or a healthier relationship with food or improving your language skills or your culinary skills or your whatever, right? Anything that you're trying to improve, it's important to first gain awareness of where you are now, right? Some type of baseline is what we're looking for, because if we don't have that baseline, we don't know if we're improving or not. And we're also not aware of what we're doing currently, because so much, again, referring to the beginning of this, we tend to do things without even thinking about it, especially whenever life is crazy and chaotic and there's a million other things going on. As far as being intentional and being mindful about what we are doing on a regular basis can be pushed to the wayside. So the first one is to gain awareness of your relationship with food, and how you do this can be tricky, of course. And again, with this entire thing, it's going to be contextual to you, the individual. However, gaining awareness through there's a few ways to do this. I would say you could track your food through a calorie counter app, so like MyFitnessPal or Mike's Macros, something along those lines. But if you want to get away from the numbers in general and you just want to focus on your mental health with all of this, I think that having something like a food diary or a food journal, or even just taking pictures of each meal that you eat throughout the day and then writing next to it where you were, what the time was, and how you were feeling during this meal. So if you find yourself constantly binging at nighttime, this can be a great example to where you need to write these details down and figure out what is the triggering event or mood or feeling that you're getting during these times that are causing you to binge eat. So yeah, number one is to start with gaining awareness on where you are currently so that you can productively get that baseline and know where and how much you have improved as time goes on. Okay, second is to use an inclusive approach over an exclusive approach with your diet. If you've been following me for quite some time, you might have heard me discuss this before, but it definitely needs to be emphasized again. And the difference here is an exclusive approach to your diet is thinking about all the things you can't have, right? So this is desserts or treats or snacks or alcohol or fast food or something along those lines. But you guys all know, like, it's basic with psychology and just from your own anecdotal evidence that whenever someone tells you you can't do something or you can't eat something, you immediately want to eat them. It's like, don't think of the pink elephant. You immediately think of the pink elephant. But that's just not how our minds work, right? A better way to do things is to use an inclusive approach. And what I mean by this is you think about all of the good things, the healthy, nutritious habits and foods that you can incorporate into your diet that will be beneficial to your diet as a whole. So this is a different, you shift your mindset whenever you think about all the things that you can eat as opposed to all the things that you can't eat. So an example of this would be, okay, adding a serving of vegetables to each one of your meals, right? Or adding a serving of fruit to each one of your meals. By adding the vegetables to the meal, you're automatically going to be less hungry and likely eat less shittier foods overall. So just by the addition of the veggies, the effect of that is less shitty food. Do you see what I'm saying? If you have a plate with a bunch of food on it, if you increase the serving of vegetables on that plate, likelihood the servings of, say, starches or something is going to go down. And vegetables, since they are lower calorie, are going to facilitate, of course, a healthier body, a more nutritious meal. But also, if you have fat loss goals or something along those lines, that can also be really helpful. Adding water, having only water with each one of your meals instead of saying you can't have soda, or just saying, hey, I need to eat or I need to drink 8 glasses of water today. By telling yourself that, you're like, okay, I'm going to add water. Again, by doing that, you automatically often exclude the amount of soda that you're drinking automatically without thinking, oh, I can't have soda. No, that's not the goal. The goal is to increase your water intake. Other examples would be adding protein to each meal, adding another serving of protein to each meal, adding steps to your day, increasing your overall step count for the day. So these types of things, having an inclusive approach, it just kind of flips the psychology on its head, and it's also not as restrictive in your own mind. And whenever that's the case, it can just make things a lot easier on yourself and on your psyche to facilitate that healthier relationship with food. Okay, the third one. Okay, this is going to be the easiest one, and this is going to be the one that none of you are going to do. And I'm speaking to myself here. And this one is to, and you hear everyone say it, it's eat more mindfully and more slowly, right? Everyone tells you to eat mindfully, eat slowly. And it's so simple. And I think oftentimes it's so simple that we need something. We need something fancier, right? We need something that sounds cooler or sexier or something along those lines. Just eating more mindfully and more slowly, it doesn't seem like it'll work. But there's plenty of research behind this saying that you're going to feel more satiated with the meal once you're done. So you're going to have less hunger. You're also going to have less cravings. You're going to feel more satisfied with the overall meal. So the experience of the meal, you're going to feel like you enjoyed it more. And also making sure that you enjoy the experience of eating food, because food is not fuel, right? I made a post on this on Instagram today, actually, whenever I'm recording this. It's just we get so caught up with the numbers game of how much weight do I need to lose? How much muscle do I need to gain? How much am I weighing today? How much do I need to weigh next week? Or what are my measurements? And you have all these numbers and things going on, and you get obsessed over these, and you forget that that food is much more than a utility, right? It's much more than just macros or calories or whatever. It's the term breaking bread has gone back, for as long as humans have been alive. There's biblical references to breaking bread with Jesus and the apostles and whatever, right? It's a very the act of eating with others and sharing a meal and sharing food and breaking bread together. It's much more than just fuel for your workout or however you want to put it, right? It's a sense of connectedness and togetherness and brotherhood and sisterhood, and just connectivity. Like it's just you connect with others through eating. So with that being said, just being more mindful about the food that you're eating by either taking a breath in between each meal. For me, it's usually putting my utensil down. I've done that for so long now that it's become second nature. But that alone, just putting your utensil down, chewing your full food completely, and then not picking it up again until you've completely swallowed the bite in your mouth. That can be something super simple that all of you can do. Taking a sip of water in between each bite, not a lot, just a little bit of a sip can allow you to just slow that process down. But again, this is something super simple that not enough of us are doing. So yeah, number 3 is going to be eat more mindfully and slowly. It's super simple, but we neglect it too much. So definitely do that. Okay, number 4. This is to stop labeling foods as good or bad or healthy or unhealthy. Now, the thing with this is it's a lot like emotions, honestly. You guys know I like to talk about emotions and just how we feel in general whenever it comes to anxiety or happiness or anger or sadness or joy or whatever emotion you can think of, right? But there are no positive or negative emotions, just like there are no healthy or unhealthy foods. All of the emotions that we feel, they all play a part in our life. Like we get angry, and that actually tells us about something, right? Whenever we get angry, it's like, okay, why did you get angry? If you go down that rabbit hole and dig deep inside and be like, okay, why did that make me angry? That can tell you a lot about yourself, which could elicit positive emotions in the future, quote unquote, positive emotions in the future. It's like these emotions just are. Just like, because they can all be productive in their own way. I know you see them as negative, you see anxiety as being negative. However, if we didn't have anxiety back in the day, right, we would eventually end up being eaten by a tiger or something. Like the anxiety is there for a reason. We have evolved with these emotions. Like there's nothing that we have that we've evolved with that we don't need or that shouldn't be there, right? We're too complex and sophisticated of creatures to have these unnecessary parts on our bodies or in our minds, right? The same thing goes with healthy or unhealthy, because you take like a salad, for example, and people would say, oh, a salad is healthier than a hamburger. It's like, okay, well, what if somebody just got done running a marathon and they're depleted of sodium and all these glycogen and they need all these nutrients and everything, and then you give them a salad with only vegetables and not even like high protein vegetables or anything like that. You just have just a few spinach, tomatoes, carrots, something like that. And then like, again, they're super depleted. And then you give another person let's say a burger with a bun and some French fries and some sodium, right? And all of those things. And it's just like the healthier quote unquote option for that person in that particular situation is going to be the burger and fries. Like that is a form of nourishment for the body, right? That salad can't do. And sure, you could say with the salad, you could add in some chicken in there to get some protein, and then you can add salt to it by doing whatever else. You could add oils to it. I get it. I understand that you can make the salad more in line with the burger. However, it's just to say that burger is inherently bad because it's a burger and fries. It's just like that is factually not true. Your body doesn't see foods as good or bad or healthy or unhealthy. Your body, you consume this burger and fries, and your body just deconstructs it chemically, from a chemical standpoint, into whatever amino acids, glucose, fatty acids, right? So it just breaks it down like it does with all foods. It treats all foods the exact same way. They go down and you metabolize them differently. Yes, certain foods and things like that, but again, it's all just chemicals and nutrients, right? That's how your body sees it. Your body has no morality on what foods are good or bad, and labeling foods as good or bad or healthy or unhealthy can taint this relationship with food, because you feel bad whenever you eat certain foods, and that should not be the case, right? That's not how we should feel. All foods play a role. And again, maybe you need to have that burger and fries so that you can stay on track Monday through Friday with your diet, right? Like that burger and fries plays a role for our own sanity, for our own psychology. So to say that foods are healthy or unhealthy is just not true, and it could be harmful. So instead, I would say to have label foods as more nutritious, and less nutritious, right? So you have a salad, for example, with all these vitamins and minerals and things like that, and then you maybe have donuts, which are less nutritious than the salad, which is more nutritious. All right, so that's number 4. And number 5, again, along these terms, is to eliminate cheat meals and cheat days. This, again, goes back to the idea that whenever we have a certain meal, that we are cheating, and we all associate cheating with it being bad, right? We're doing something bad whenever we're cheating, and that, again, that's just not true. And if you are justifying eating like a complete asshole because it's your cheat day, however, it's ruining your progress, it's ruining your relationship with food by creating this hardcore restrict and then binge mentality. Like, that's not healthy either. You're just creating a lower version of an eating disorder, right? Which could potentially, for some people, lead to an actual eating disorder of restricting and binging. And so having cheat meals and cheat days is just not good for anybody. And calling them cheat meals and cheat days, it could be harmful for your own psyche. And so I think a better term for this, and what I use with my clients, is instead calling them just free meals. So eating basically whatever you want without being an asshole. The whole purpose is to eat what you want, to get your sanity back, right? You have these cravings for certain foods, and that's totally normal. So having like, okay, I'm going to have this free meal. I'm not going to track it. I'm going to go out. I'm going to focus on this experience with my family or friends. And it's not about, how much shit can I eat, right? That's not the point. This is just a free meal. You're not tracking anything. Just get what you want. Enjoy it. And I think that's a better way to frame things for your own relationship with food. All right, so quick recap. Number 1, gain awareness. Do something to gain awareness to figure out a baseline on where you're at currently. Number 2 is to use an inclusive approach over an exclusive approach to your diet. Number 3 is eat more mindfully and eat more slowly. Food is not just fuel. Number 4 is to stop labeling foods as good or bad or healthy or unhealthy. And number 5 is to eliminate cheat meals and cheat days and instead replace that with free meals and or simply balancing out your calories a little bit better throughout the week so that you aren't restricting and binging over time. All right. And so that's it. 5 ways to build a healthier relationship with food. I hope that is helpful. And as always, guys, thank you so much for listening and for watching. See ya.